Hi guys and welcome back. Bitcoin is moving here right now to the downside, but this is not the moment to panic. I will show you today why Bitcoin has only a few hours left to make a really specific move here for us, and you should definitely not miss out on this. So make sure that you subscribe to the channel, like this video, and also activate the bell so that you will never miss out on these important updates. And of course, we're also going to talk a little bit about altcoins. And now let's straight get into this here. So here you can see Bitcoin on the 1 hourly chart trying to break under this downward sloping trend line here once again. If we would do so and close this 1 hourly candle under this trend line, that would be a bearish signal for me. We need to be then a little bit more cautious and also de-risk our positions. But from what I'm seeing right now, also on the higher time frames, I believe that is just another stop loss hunt and shakeout for everybody that came late to the party here on the move up in terms of long positions. So they are trying to shake these people out. And as you can see, we are bouncing here already. Afterwards, we should get here a move back to at least $66,000 today at some point or over the weekend. And I believe that over the next couple hours or over the weekend, we are going to see a move like this here, at least to $69,000 over the next 2-3 days-ish. But here comes the really important part of it. Even if we get this move, and Bitcoin cannot reclaim that level by Monday, we should become really cautious here, because there has to happen a short squeeze over the next 2-3 days. And if that is not the case, then the higher time frames are again exhausted, and it means that we should prepare ourselves for a deeper pullback, potentially all the way back to like $62,000. Again, I'm not expecting this. I expect a move to the upside here because a lot of things are pointing to it, but always have a plan B in the back of your hand. So if we get a move here above $69,000, we're going to move here really quickly also above $73,000. And I'm going to show you why the $69,000 level and the $67,000 level are really crucial here right now, just in a second. But before I do that, just keep in mind here, the stochastic is at the bottom. The RSI is trending sideways down, and the MACD is looking bearish right now. But from what I see here with the RSI and the stochastic RSI, we should bounce here in the next, let's say, 2 hours back to the upside. So I'm not really concerned just yet about it. If we would break here through this DCA zone at $62,200 and close hourly candles below that level, that's where I start to get massively concerned with the Bitcoin price. Also here on this 4 hourly chart, so here's this mega trend line. So here, this is closing only in 2 hours. So as long as the 4 hourly candle here, this one here, stays above that trend line, no reason to panic. You should really start panicking if we close the 4 hourly candle below that trend line and start to push here back into this downward sloping range of that downward sloping parallel channel. That's where I will get majorly concerned. Otherwise, I believe that we are going to see a bounce here from that short-term support back to the upside into now, again, a short-term resistance. So this is here now a support resistance flip level. I will rename this later. The Monday low is sitting more or less at a key level that we need to reclaim in the next 48 hours to see actually continuation to the upside here. Here on the stochastic, we could still go down for another 8 to 12 hours, at least on stochastic, which does not mean that price action has to go down too. We can just go sideways while the indicators are cooling down. So just a little bit more chop here around. When we're looking at the funding rates, they are still super chilled. So here, if I go to like 50%, then we have here some yellow. But if I go to 100, there's basically nothing, so you see here, everything's still in a position of go and long me, which is fine, so it means that a lot of traders are still risk adverse right now. They want to be a little bit more careful and see how this chop is playing out before they're jumping in new positions, and that is absolutely fine. When we're going then to liquidation levels, as you can see, here is not a lot to liquidate below us, unless we are pushing to $59,000, which I don't expect to be happening, but a lot to liquidate closer to the upside. Hence why I believe that we are going to see rather a move here to the upside to liquidate everybody there than pushing now here at least to $61,500 to liquidate here one level of long positions and then move lower to liquidate everybody here. So I just don't see it, guys. Really, I don't see it. So it makes more sense to go up and liquidate everybody there. You can also see that on the liquidation heat map here on the weekly. So let me refresh that. So you see we now stepped into here a long liquidation pocket where we liquidated some people. If we move a little bit lower, we liquidate another 20. Oh, did we not already dip into this? We dipped already into this. So yeah, there we should find here now support to bounce back to the upside. Liquidate here people at 65,000. And if we go here above 65,500, we should get a short squeeze into $67,000 and potentially then even higher than that. When I go to the weekly chart, just to show you where the big walls are sitting right now, if it's loading. See here, if we are starting to liquidate people around $67,000, we're going to see a move here to 69, potentially even $70,000. And you see here how much liquidity is sitting there. Down here is not a lot, you know, so why should we keep going down instead of pushing up and taking out all this juicy liquidity here? It makes no sense to drive the price further down and instead going to the upside. So that's my thesis here, where I believe that at some point over the next 3 days, we are going to see that. And even if it's just a scam wick, where we wick all the way up here to 71 and come back to like 68 or something, I definitely see these levels here being liquidated. Rather sooner than later, it's always playing out in that specific scenario. So if you're looking at a Bitcoin position right now, take one, then wait for a close above that downward sloping trend line. That's what I would do. My stop loss would be $63,300 approximately. So a really tight stop loss to invalidate. And then here the all-time high. That is a 8.16% move to the upside against less than 1% of a stop loss. So here I would trade with 25x. Because you lose potentially 23%, but you can make 200% to the upside. So this is a trade worth taking for me. I will try to catch this trade and post it in the Telegram and in the Discord group if I'm able to catch it. So that's what I'm looking for. So I'm only wait for a 15 minutes candle close above this downward sloping trend line to enter this trade. And guys, don't forget, if you want to trade anywhere, then trade with me on BYBIT. You still get $30,000 for using the link here down below, or on Margex. The strategy is called AMCrypto altcoins. So because I only trade altcoins with the strategy there on Margex. And if you cannot use BYBIT for some reason, because it's not allowed in your country or something, then use either BITGET and Phemex. They're equally comparable to BYBIT with the links here down below. You find these links in the description and in the pinned comment below of this video, and you are supporting the channel with it, so I would appreciate if you use them. Now, the Bitcoin dominance is doing something which I really like, and that is breaking further down here exactly as expected. Here I expect a move to like 52.77% over the next couple of, let's say by tomorrow. I would expect something like this. But the crucial thing here is Bitcoin needs to go sideways at the same time so that altcoins can actually rally. There are some altcoins rallying right now a little bit. I'm going to show you which ones these are, but it's actually not a lot. When we're going to Ethereum, then we are seeing here also a breakdown right now, a rejection from the point of control here on the VPVR. That was kind of expected when we get there. From, what was it, $3,522. Now we are back here at $3,356. We're getting supported there right now because of this prior range. And we should also get a bounce really soon here back to the upside. Let's just have a look here on a 4-hourly chart. If we would get a bounce from here, we can still complete this inverse head and shoulders pattern here. It would be still accurate. The neckline would just trend down, but it would still technically be an inverse head and shoulders pattern. So as long as this line holds 3,355 on this 4-hourly chart, we should be fine. Here, only problem is stochastic RSI is somewhere in the middle going down. So this has more room to go to the downside, but I don't know. I have to look on the hourly chart to see. now we should actually bounce from here, at least back to the daily open and chop here a little bit sideways until the 4-hourly chart comes a little bit lower. So, but yeah, by tomorrow, after tomorrow, I expect to move back here to 3,500 and potentially even above that level to the upside. Now, some altcoins that I'm looking at, one of them is here Optimism. Optimism is performing quite well today. It's also one of the only coins that is performing. When I go here to the 4-hourly chart, if you want to enter this, really simple. You only need to look out for this level to be broken. From there, I would long this from $3.60 into $4. So there's a 15% move to the upside. If you use 10x leverage, 150%, really easy. And your invalidation, your stop loss is at $3.43. So it's like a little bit like a 2.5% stop loss against a 15% move to the upside. That's a 1 to 6 risk to reward ratio, which is absolutely fine. And this is technically also inverse head and shoulders here if we break that neckline at $3.60. Yeah, and here I would also wait for a 15 minutes close before I would actually enter this. Then real quick, AVAX, again, still fighting with that support area here with the upper resistance. If we can break out of that at $56.60, it becomes a buy. But yeah, be also here a little bit careful because we are chopping here around for quite a while. But the nice thing is the longer we are chopping here around, the more likely it becomes that we are breaking here to the upside. Just want to point this out here. Here is a rising wedge. So most likely once we're touching $70, we're gonna come back down. But this is also like a 15% move to the upside. Then really quick, DYDX. DYDX is getting rejected from its downward sloping trend line. Still also one of the coins that is performing overall today quite good. And yeah, once we're breaking the neckline, again, it becomes a buy, $3.33. And then also above $4.20-ish is my take profit. Then really quick about ZRX that I gave you yesterday. Remember, guys, I told you it can take 48 hours, 24 to 48 hours. We are most likely forming here a W pattern before we reverse. So I'm still in this trade. Only if we would go here under 81 cents, that's where I would pull the plug. But for now, it doesn't look like it. And the targets still remain the same, $1.10 more or less. Guys, that was a quick update. I hope you enjoyed it. Please make sure that you smash up the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and I'll see you then again in the next one.